Okay guys, okay guys, this is something I wanted to show you guys that they say may be in the next article of SRI. We'll see. This is something I made. It's just a squirrel cooker, but it's kind of a squirrel cooker done differently just because I have zero experience in blacksmithing. I think that most people, what they'll do is they'll take a larger diameter rod and then hit it with some sort of chisel or something and split the end and then make a nice fork out of it. Well, being very inexperienced and not having really any tools, I mean, I did this all with just regular tools you'd find around the house and a vise with an anvil on it about an inch square. So I mean, it was pretty small, and an oak fire. This is what I'm going to cook my squirrel on today. Squirrel cooker, and having some cooked squirrel on it. So I'm going to set the camera up and try to get you a shot of this. Trying to figure out where I want this at. And there's a rock, another rock, rock. My place has a lot of rocks. That's pretty close. We'll try that. This is like the loin, or the back part. I'm going to try that first. This was frozen before I came out, so it's still got a little bit of frost left in it, so I don't have any problem with just leaving it out. It's actually been out for quite a while. Been out for a couple hours anyway while I was messing around with that bow drill. So it'll be fine. I'll cook one piece at a time here. So I'm going to let that cook, and then actually I might try just a some sort of a spit or something that I just make while I'm out here. I think I'll give that a try too. Something a little different. These squirrel cookers are kind of cool. They're kind of a novelty type deal. I mean, I wouldn't carry one. It's just kind of fun to make one. I don't know if you can see this or not. I curved up the end here for those of you that use like a billy can or a can that has a pot that has a bail on it. You could flip this around and put it over the fire, and then this kind of gives it a little curve so it doesn't fall off. Like I said, I wouldn't really carry one, but I wanted to make one. See what it was all about. I really thought long and hard, excuse me, how to put the fork in this thing, you know, not knowing anything about it. Just take a dowel, iron rod, stick the middle of it in the fire, get super red hot. It's just like spaghetti. Put it together, and then you got, you know, do some twists, and you got your fork. Not too hard. Something to putz around with, something to practice and have fun with. A little project. So I'm going to let this cook, and we'll come back. Okay guys, well this is what I've got going on right excuse me, what I've got going on right now. One nice thing about this squirrel cooker I can see is it's super adjustable. You know, you can just kind of move it on or off the fire. Now some of you are going to say that that piece might be a little bit burnt, and you'd be correct, but I want my squirrel good and cooked, and actually it's not really burnt. I think it's just got a nice crust on it actually. Anyway, I grabbed a couple maple saplings and made a couple little tripod things there, and we'll see how these work out. So I don't do a lot of open spit fire cooking like this, but I don't know, seems to be working out. It's a nice hot fire from that oak wood, and that piece of squirrel is just about done. I've got about 3 or 4 more minutes I want to let that sucker get on there for, and then I'm going to eat a little dinner, and I'll be back with you. Okay, well, I'm going to check it out. I've been letting it cool for a minute. That crust on the outside is really good. It's like the crust on a rib or something. I don't know, that's pretty good. I've only had snow, the wind changed and throwing the smoke right in my eyes. I've only had squirrel one other time. And I steamed it all day long. Not all day long. I steamed it for like, until it was falling off the bone. Like at least 2 hours, maybe 4 hours. And then I got all the meat and I battered it and then deep fried it. Dave showed something like that on Journal of the Yurt. And that was really good. This is pretty good too. I never really shot squirrels before, or hunted them to eat. But if this is what they taste like, this isn't bad at all. I mean, this is really good. Of course, I'm hungry, but still, this is really good. Cooked over an open fire like that. This is good. I know a lot of people say it's tough, and I still got the legs on the fire cooking. And this is the back part, tenderloin, should be about the best part of the whole squirrel, but this isn't tough. Not any tougher than some other stuff. Not a lot of meat on it, of course, because it's such a small animal, but I'll be eating this again, I can tell you that. The wife won't eat it. But that's okay. Man, cooked like this is pretty good. No salt, no pepper, nothing, just that nice wood fire. Just put that, I forget what they call that. I don't know if it's not really a caramelization, but it's just a nice crust on the outside of the meat that just gives it a lot of flavor. Those outside pieces were really good. The inside pieces are good too. I don't taste any gaminess or anything. I shot this one off the wife's bird feeder, so he was getting some pretty decent food towards the end. But I hadn't seen him before that, so it's not like he's been living his whole life off birdseed or something. Acorns in our yard. I have no idea how old he was. He was a big squirrel. Geez, there's nothing left. That's pretty good. Alright. Talk to you later. Hey guys. Well, here's the last two spits of the squirrel. It's like a little chicken wing. It's got that same good flavor to it. This is just a tiny bit tougher, but it's pretty good. Must have been one of the front feet, it's a little smaller. That's good stuff, man. I can see why people hunt them. It's a little bit tougher. You get into the inside meat and it's good. It's all good tasting, it's just some of it's like that little piece of, I don't know what that is. Something, but it's a little tougher. I'll be hunting these for sure. Nice fat gray squirrel. It's starting to get dark, as you can see. Just kind of, I'm gonna let my fire down a little bit. I'm gonna try one more thing tonight. I've done a lot of research about, or I don't know about research, but just reading and trying to gain information about different things, basically my whole life. And it's only lately that I've been able to go out and really practice this stuff. My property here, I've done a lot of hunting on it. I've done a lot of hobby farming on it. And it's just only recently that I realized that there were other people out there like me who, I guess you call it bushcraft or survival or whatever. It's stuff I've been interested in my whole life. I remember I saw the Army survival manual and I thought I was in heaven when I first saw that. And I was young. I remember trying figure 4 deadfalls, not practical applications of them, but just trying them. Just in my backyard, just seeing if I could carve the notches, you know. So now I'm at a point in my life where I can really try this stuff out. And it's almost, for me, it's almost like I'm trying to make up for lost time. Like I'm really trying to learn this stuff fast. It just seems like yesterday I was 18, now I'm 42. Life catches up to you pretty fast. You guys that are getting started on this when you're young, or younger, have a huge advantage. And it's great. For me, you know, I want to try to learn this stuff and experiment with this stuff. I mean, it's just like it's all consuming, you know. I just really want to dive into this super hard, and that's what I've done for the last couple of years. At least the last couple of years. Once I started finding out there were other people like me, and, you know, the shows, Dual Survivals, I mean, I saw that and I was like shocked. I was like, holy crap, there's other people out there that actually know this stuff. Or not that I knew anything, but I mean other people out there that know survival stuff, and that not just generic crap that the Army tries to put out, you know, I mean real knowledge. And since then I really have just been really studying YouTube and taking classes and just really trying to make up for lost time, I guess you might say. So anyway, the next thing I'm going to do, or try to do, is something I've seen in the Army manual. And a lot of the stuff in the Army manual is good, and a lot of it's crap. So the only way I know to test it is just come out here and do it. I mean, you can watch YouTube and stuff, and there's only so many hours in the day, you know, you can only watch so much YouTube about certain subjects without, you know, coming out and trying it and then just seeing for yourself what works. And I watch a lot of YouTube, but I don't try to fall into the trap of, oh, I saw it on YouTube or I saw it on TV and it looks super easy, so now I can do it. That's not the case. You get out here and, I mean, it's not easy. It's not level. The ground's not level. You don't have a workbench, you know, whatever. Anyway, there's something in the survival manual that I saw that I want to try. It's a way to feed your fire without actually having to add sticks to it. The sticks will add themselves, basically. I don't know how well it'll work. I've read about it, like I said, in the Army manual, and also a couple other just general storybooks where they did a lot of research. They were fiction, but they researched their stuff pretty good. But anyway, I just want to give it a try. I'm going to let my fire die down because I'm thinking you want kind of a smaller fire for this application. Just something to, when you wake up in the middle of the night, your fire's still got at least a coal or a bed of coals maybe. And so it's a real nice night out tonight. The mosquitoes aren't bad. There's some flying around, but the smoke's helping drive them off. Super nice temperature. It was in the 90s last week, all the way till, it was funny, my wife was laughing. She said, Minnesota, they said it was September 1st, so bam, they got to turn off the temperature. And that's the way it was, literally. Yesterday was, I can't remember, but it was hot. It was either upper 80s or 90 or something. And today at like 2 or 3 o'clock, it was like 71. So it's really nice. So I'm going to finish eating my dinner. The squirrel is pretty good. And then we'll try that next thing with the fire. Okay, this is just something I want to experiment with. This is, like I said, kind of a self-feeding fire idea. Maybe you can see it better now. All it is a couple of angled sticks driven into the ground, and then some round sticks. Obviously they're round, but I mean cleaned of any protruding twigs or anything like that off of them, so that they roll nice down the slope of the twigs into the fire. Now, I was messing around with it a little bit, and I can see I mean, obviously the trick is going to be trying to keep the main fire far enough away from this pile of sticks so it doesn't catch the whole darn pile of sticks on fire. They rolled down quite a bit. I don't know if I have the angle right or if this is just kind of a silly thing, but anyway, I just want to give it a try. Got some nice coals in there from that oak wood, and I'm hoping that it will move slowly. You can see they're pretty small, the twigs on the fire. I'm hoping it will move slowly towards this stack of wood, and that as the lower ones burn, because it was under like I had to keep stacking this until I finally got it to stay. And I had to put some more down here than what I had thought. So hopefully as the bottom ones burn, the top ones will push down and feed the fire. Like I said, hopefully it doesn't turn into this huge fire where all of them get put on at once. We'll see. Anyway, it's just an idea, just something to play with. That's what all this is just practice. You know, you see stuff or you read stuff, and I just like to go out and practice stuff. See if it'll work. You can only take so much of what people tell you, you know, before you got to go out and try it yourself. And anyway, thanks for listening to my ramblings. We'll see what tomorrow brings. Talk to you later. Bye. Okay, so here's the self-sustaining fire trial. I have a little bit of a different fire over here. I wanted a nice fire tonight, so I tried to keep it away from the experiment. And I don't think that I had those two main sticks I think I had them too much straight up and down. They should have been a little bit more of an angle, and you can see everything just kind of collapsed. It worked for a little bit, for like the first maybe 1 or 2 sticks, but then everything just kind of collapsed, and now it's just going to make a big fire right there. There's a few sticks that may hold out for a little bit, but that's some pretty soft wood, so that fire's going to burn out pretty quickly. So I don't know, it's just something to try and something to mess around with. So we'll catch you later. Okay guys, well, it's the next morning. It's upper 50s right now, so I'm just gonna kind of work on getting the fire going and warm up just a tiny bit, and I'm gonna pack up and leave. I wanted to show you something real quick. I don't think I've ever seen anything really like this. So look at the base of this tree. Okay. That's one trunk. That's one trunk with 2 different types of trees coming out of it. This one, I think it's a maple, right? This one is a birch, and they're sharing they're sharing the same trunk. That's weird. The birch tree is dead. Anyway, I just thought that was kind of interesting. Alright, today I made a whole new set, bow drill set. I want to give it a whirl, see if it'll work. I used a nice sized piece of that aspen, and then I made that for the hearth board, and then I split an identical piece basically, and then cut the heartwood out of that for a spindle. And I've got an oak bearing block. Oops, don't want it that way. Want it on the outside of my string because my bow doesn't have much of a bow to it. Well, a couple things need to be adjusted here. including my string tension. When you have a excuse me, when you have a good bearing block, you can really get away with a lot of stuff. And I see I've been getting away with a lot of stuff. I really need to try to kind of go back to the fundamentals here and worry about a lot of things that I haven't been worrying about. Just all the basics. You have a good bearing block and you can really, it's so forgiving because there's just hardly any friction on it compared to these natural bearing blocks, or wood bearing block I should say. Even just picking up a rock or something like that in your travels really makes a big difference. And I think I'm out of room on this socket. I might have a tiny bit more. Gosh darn, birch bark is so springy. I don't want to admit it, but I had a coal just a minute ago. Perfect, worked textbook, worked on the first try. Went out in my tinder bundle. That was awesome. Darn it. No, it burned through. That's not going to work. So, making a new one. Okay, hopefully this time if I get an ember, the silly tinder bundle is going to work out for me. It's a big notch. It's going to take a while to build up some dust. God bless America. I could see that happening. Wow. I could see that starting to come out of that notch. I knew that notch was too wide. The only thing I can do now is to try to angle it way in so it bites more into the wood instead of the notch. And that's not going to work. Why am I struggling this morning and last night? Okay, we'll give her another shot here. All this screwing around has made it so I don't even want to fire. I'm ready just to go. I'm all warmed up. Plenty warm enough. I forgot to trim off some of this crap from my spindle. Well, hopefully now my dang tinder bundle will work. Because it looks like the ember's gonna work. So it's calling up. Alright, I'm gonna reset her up so that if I get this tinder bundle to work, you can see it. A lot of work for a silly fire. Putting ember in the tinder bundle. The back should be to the wind. Holy smokes. That was a lot of work for that fire. So, I mean, it's the fire. I'm just going to let it go out now because I'm ready to go home. So, anyway, that was it. This is my camping for the night, my overnighter. So, hope you guys enjoyed it. Man, that took a while.